Welcome to a brief video documenting the results of FPath Experiment 001. FPath is a project to follow the Feynman Path to nanotechnology. The Feynman Path is where big tools build smaller tools, and those smaller tools build yet smaller tools, which build smaller tools, and so on down to the bottom until you can reliably position atoms at the nanometer scale. Of course, this project is nowhere near that. It is still working at the multi-millimeter scale, the centimeter scale, basically. The purpose of this experiment is basically to test out the software and hardware packages which will be used in further experiments. But every project should really have a goal, and so in order to exercise it properly, I decided that the software and hardware would drive a square, a colored square, on a rotating platform as close as possible to a static square which was off that platform. The software is closed loop. A C920 webcam is connected to a Windows 10 PC. The Windows 10 PC runs some software called the Walnut Server. You can find more information about this on the web page documenting this experiment and the FPath project in general. The description in the video below contains the link. So the Walnut software on the Windows 10 PC can do image recognition on the squares, and it basically figures out the coordinates of the two colored squares and the colors they are. The center of the rotating platform is not known. Once the coordinates are figured out, they are sent over to a BeagleBone Black microcontroller running some software called the Walnut Client software. This software has a kind of a PID-like algorithm in it which controls the motion and can generate the speed and direction commands to control a geared stepper motor which is driving the platform. Inside the BeagleBone Black, there are two things called programmable real-time units. These are essentially microcontrollers within a microcontroller. They are extremely useful if you want to have real-time software. So inside the PRU, as they're known, I have an assembly language program which generates the pulse waveforms for the speed and direction very, very accurately. This is transmitted to a driver chip which then controls the stepper motor. So basically it's closed loop because as the stepper motor moves, the webcam sees this, the Windows 10 PC gets new coordinate data, this is fed over to the BeagleBone Black, which runs it through its PID algorithm and then outputs the appropriate speed and direction signals to the programmable real-time unit, which output the waveforms for it, and then the platform moves in a different direction or a different speed. So it all works fairly well, as you will shortly see. So without further ado, let's tell the Walnut Server software to transmit coordinate information to the Walnut Client software running on the BeagleBone Black. Here we can see the red square on the rotating table is starting to move because the stepper motor is turning it. And as we move the green square, the system responds to that and brings the red square as close as possible to the green square. Initially, when going counterclockwise, it sometimes goes backwards a bit. This is just it figuring out which direction it's got to go in. And I could probably fix that and make it a little bit better. But this was just a sort of a sample goal, really. The main point of this whole experiment was to test the hardware and software, this whole sort of execution path of the hardware and software. And the fact that the red and green squares are lining up was just basically a mechanism to make sure that it was all fully exercised. Anyways, that is the FPath Experiment 001. You can read much more about that on the website. And also there'll be some videos on this channel about the Walnut software and the FPath project in general. Initially there might not be because I haven't done them yet, but I'll do them in the next little while and you should be able to see them on this channel and the ofitselfso.com website. Well, that's all for this experiment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you for the next ones.